Hi guys, my name's Allie. I'm a physical therapist at the University of Florida Fixel Center for Neurological Diseases, and we put together some exercises today to do for strength training and for cardiovascular exercise that you can do from the comfort of your own home. I'm the physical therapist, and this is Nicole. She's the occupational therapist. And throughout the exercises, you can choose whether you want to do them in standing with me or the version she's doing in sitting. You can also switch back and forth based on your comfort level. So we'll go through a video for strength training, and then we'll go through a video for cardiovascular exercise for you to help manage the symptoms of your MS from your home. So what we're going to start with today is just a general warm-up. Like I said, you can do them in sitting or standing. So the first thing we're going to do is reach down to the ground, stretch out your hamstrings, stretch out your low back, and then you're going to reach up and overhead and stretch out your back, extend the other way. We're going to do it again. Reach down, touch the floor, try and feel stretch, then reach up and overhead and extend overhead. And we'll do it one more time. Down, touch the ground, and then up and overhead. And now what we're going to do is stretch out our trunk. So you're going to put your hands out in front. You're going to rotate to the right and try and reach behind you as you rotate. And then back to the middle. Then we're going to go to the left side. Reach behind you and then to the middle. So now you should feel not only your shoulders loosening up, but also your trunk and your chest as well. So when we do the strength training version, your muscles are warmed up and ready to go. We'll go one more time to the right, stretch, and back to the middle and to the left. Now, if you get pain during any of the exercises, stop. You don't want to push through pain. The pain's trying to tell you something. So try and let pain be your guide during these things, and if anything causes you pain, don't do it. Do one more stretch. We're going to reach over to our right side and try and elongate our trunk, and then back to the middle, and up over to the left side. Reach up over your trunk, back to the middle. If you're doing them and standing with me, you can separate your feet a little to help your balance, or you can always have a chair or the couch right behind you to help with your balance as well. We'll go one more time to the right.
For those of you performing the exercises in sitting, be sure that you're sitting a little forward in your chair in order to maximize the amount of core stability.
So now we're going to get into the strength part. So what I want you to do is grab some weights. We have hand weights here. If you don't have dumbbells or hand weights in your house, you can use soup cans, you can use bottles of water, just something to give you a little resistance as you get going, and then maybe you can invest in some in the future. So the first exercise we're going to do is some rows for our arms and our trunk. So in standing, you're going to hinge forward at your hips, bend your knees a little, and we're going to row back this way. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your elbows close to your side and squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. We're going to do 12 of them. That was 2. You're trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. That was 3, 4. If this becomes too hard, you can do it in standing where you're going straight forward. So you can see Nicole can sit up, or she can do it leaning forward. And same movement. You're trying to strengthen those shoulder blades in the back that help with posture. And we'll do one more. And rest. The next exercise we're going to do is we're going to switch to our legs a little. So if you're in standing, like me, you want to find a chair nearby. You're going to spread your feet shoulder width apart. We're going to lean forward, and we're going to stand up and reach overhead with the weights in our hand. Nicole's going to do a similar version, but just not get all the way to standing. So we're going to do 12 of them together. We're going to lean forward and up and then back down. Forward and up and back down. If you're unable to lift your butt like Nicole, you can try and just do that forward lean and just squeeze your butt. This is a good exercise for sitting to standing. It's functional. You have to be able to do it for the rest of your life. I think that was 6. As you know, physical therapists aren't good at counting. 8. We're going to do 4 more. 9. 10, 11. To make it harder, you can go to a lower surface or stand on something unstable. And 12. Good. We already have 2 down. The next one we're going to do is a combination of legs and arm movements. So you're gonna lift the arms out to the side as you go up onto your toes. So you're gonna go up onto your toes and lift your arms up. You can see Nicole's also gonna do the arm movements and try and lift her heels off the ground as she's sitting. So it's a little bit of balance. You don't want your shoulders to come up towards your ears. You wanna keep them down and away as you lift your arms up. That was 6. We're gonna try and go to 12 again. 7, so you can see we're doing one set of these. As you get better, you can go through it twice or even 3 times to get your 3 sets in. That's recommended for strength training. I think we have 2 more.
And if your arms get tired, you don't have to raise them quite as high, or you can get something that weighs a little bit less.
Another option is if you could do bicep curls as you went up on your toes too. You could bend your elbows this way, go up onto your toes. That way we're strengthening our calves and our arms. The next one that we're gonna do is a glute exercise. So you're going to lean forward and backwards. Nicole's gonna hold her weights over her chest like this, and she's gonna try and lean forward to control her trunk and backwards to control her trunk. If you're standing, you're gonna put the weights out in front of you. You're gonna hinge forward at your hips and then stand up. We're gonna try 12 of these together. So we're gonna go forward and then come up. You should feel a little pull in the back of your legs, and you should try and think about squeezing your butt or using the back of your trunk if you're sitting to come back up to the middle. I'm gonna try and get to 12 of these. 5, I think. 6, 7. If you feel unstable, you can always switch and do it in sitting. Switch to Nicole's position. Good. 10, we're gonna try 2 more. 11, last one, and 12. Good. The last exercise we're gonna do in this position is a little bit of trunk rotation to get our core firing. So we're gonna hold the weights in the middle. We're gonna rotate to the right. Then we're gonna reach the weights up over your head and then rotate to the left. We're gonna do that together. You can see you can do it in sitting or standing. So we'll go right, up overhead, to the left. Go back to the right, up overhead, to the left. We're gonna try 8 this way. Right, up overhead, left. Good. Again, if you have pain, try not to push through it. Stop. You can do smaller ranges of motion. You can try and do it without weights, or you can modify it and go to the sitting position. We have 2 more on this side. Up overhead, to the left. 1 more. Up overhead, to the left. Now we're gonna reverse that. So we're gonna start the move to the left and then go up overhead, then finish to the right. So we're gonna start to the left, reach up overhead, to the right. So the goal with MS strength training is to try and complete 3 sets of 8 to 12 about 2 days a week. So you can combine this on the same day as you do your cardio exercises, or you can do it on another one. 6, up overhead, to the right, and 1 more time. Up overhead, to the right. Another component to think about is if you're somebody who gets overheated with MS, you can always have your cooling vest on during these exercises. You can have it nearby if you feel like you're getting to that point, or you could wear it before or after to help manage the heat component that can be difficult with MS.
In addition, always make sure you have a bottle of water with you, and that can help with cooling as well.
All right, guys, you can see we switched positions for this last strength section. We're gonna do some bridges and some arm presses and then finish with some planks for some core stability. If you can get down on the ground in your house, that would be great. If not, you can do it in your bed or try it on a larger couch, or you can do the version of Nicole's doing in sitting too, which will also try and activate your core for some isometric contractions. So the first thing we're gonna do is lay on our back We're gonna do a bridge that lifts your hips up off the ground and you're gonna press up into the air. So bridge, press, press, and down. We're gonna do that again. Up, press, press, and down. You can always increase the weight that you have in your hand. And make sure those butt gets up off the ground. We're halfway there. We're gonna do 4 more. Up, press, press, and down. Up, press, press, and down. 2 more. You can see Nicole's also activating her stomach while she's sitting, but then also trying to work on balance with those shoulder presses. Then you can drop the weights, and you can flip over and do a plank onto your elbows, or you can do a contraction like Nicole's gonna do. So you're gonna push up onto your elbows and hold for 20 seconds. If this is too hard for you, you can always go down onto your knees. You wanna try and keep your back flat so you're not up really high or down really low. You wanna be right in the middle. We have about 5 seconds left, and then we're gonna do it on our sides. Make sure you're breathing in these positions. And switch to your side. So you can take Nicole's version, or you can go up onto your side. This is a really hard position. If it bothers your shoulder, if it's too hard, you can go down onto your knees and hold your trunk up like that. You're trying to work on that core stability muscles. You have about 5 more seconds, and then we're gonna switch sides. And switch.
And for those of you doing this in the seated position, if you have a chair or some surface on your other side, you can use that to lean onto and then push up against.
You can do it on the edge of a couch or on the edge of your bed if you're doing Nicole's version too. And relax. We're gonna go through those one more time. So we'll start with the bridges. Grab your weights again. You're gonna go up with your butt and press, press, and down. Again, up, press, press, and down. Press, press, and down.
For those of you doing it in sitting, you just tilt at your pelvis and then press your arms outwards while contracting your stomach.
You want to try and activate your core in sitting to help your stability. We're going to do one more. Up, press, press, and down. Good. Let's switch back to those planks on your knees or on your toes for 20 seconds. Make sure you're breathing in these positions.
And again, contract your stomach, tilt your pelvis, and pulse your arms if you're doing the exercise in seated position.
You can switch back and forth between your knees or your toes depending on how you're feeling. We're gonna finish with those side planks. You're gonna go up onto your toes and try and hold it. I'm gonna show you both ways for about 10 seconds. If this bothers your shoulder, you can always go down to your knees. Try and keep your hips in line with your knees so you're in one straight line. We're almost there. We have about 3 seconds left. And switch sides. And up and hold. The core is really important for sitting balance, for all of your activities of daily living, for your transfers, for walking stability. We want to make sure we strengthen that core as much as possible in any way to help your daily activities. You have 5 more seconds. And relax. Good job. All right, now we finished our strength component, so we're gonna put the weights down and we're just gonna do a quick cool down to make sure your muscles are relaxed. We're gonna do the same thing we warmed up with. So the first thing is you're gonna reach forward, stretch out those muscles that you just tried to strength train, and then reach up overhead. We're gonna do it one more time. Reach forward, stretch out your legs, stretch out your back, and then reach up overhead. And now we're gonna do the rotation one, where your arms are out in front and you stretch your trunk, open up, and then come back together. Let's try it the other way. Stretch your trunk and back together. Now, if you're worried that these exercises might not be okay for you, you can always consult with a medical doctor or a PT before you start them. We're gonna go to the side one more time. So we'll go to the right side, overhead stretch. Back to the middle. Make sure you drink lots of water when you finish this exercise. Hydration is really important. One more time to the right, and to the middle, then to the left. All right, guys, this is our cardio video. So we're gonna try and do a 10-minute video of different cardio exercises that you can use to get your heart rate up to help manage fatigue and manage the symptoms of MS. And you can do them in either standing like me or sitting like Nicole. So we're gonna start with just some general warm-ups again. You're gonna take one arm, reach it across your chest, and try and twist. And then we're gonna go back the other way. Try and loosen your arms up before we get going. One more time to the right. And one more time to the left. Now we're gonna do that same overhead reach to loosen up your trunk and your arms before we get your heart rate up. So just loosen up your muscles, especially if you've been sitting. If you have spasticity or extra stiff muscles, you might have to go through this warm-up twice. And we're gonna go down to the ground, stretch out your back, and then stand up and extend your back. We're gonna do it one more time, down to the ground, touch, and then up and extend your back. All right. Okay, now what we're going to do is start by just marching in place, get our heart rate up. We're gonna do this for a whole 60 seconds. What I wanna bring your attention to is the Rpe scale at the bottom of this screen. So what that is it's telling you that on a scale of 0 being no movement at all, 10 being extremely exhausted, we want you throughout this video to try and get to that 5 to 6 range, that moderate intensity exercise. That's what it's gonna give you cardiovascular improvements, and it's gonna improve your management of fatigue with MS. So throughout this, try and manage your symptoms and keep yourself right around that 5 to 6 range out of 10 for your Rpe scale.
If you're above a 5 to 6, take a short rest break or go a little bit slower.
And if you feel like you need to improve it a little, you can always go faster. You can take it to a jog, or you can do bigger movements to get your muscles working more, to get you to that 5 to 6 range. All right, guys, we're gonna go through our first series of 3 exercises. We have 3 cardio exercises. We're gonna do them each for 20 seconds, and then we're gonna repeat them. So we're gonna do 2 sets of 20 of each of these exercises. So in standing, you're gonna stand with your arms up. You're gonna squat down, pull your arms down, and come back up. Nicole's gonna do a variation of this, and you can see throughout these exercises, you can go at your own pace. If you can go faster than us, that's perfectly okay. If you need to slow down and go slower than us, that works too. We're about 15 seconds in. We're gonna go for 5 more seconds with this exercise, and then we're gonna switch to the next one. And switch. So the next one you're gonna do in standing is you're gonna do a squat and weight shift and kick your butt. Squat, weight shift and kick your butt. In sitting, you're gonna try and get those same hamstrings firing in sitting with your legs bending them back. If you're unable to move your legs, that's okay. Just try and move the arms instead. That was 15 seconds. Remember, make sure you're at the edge of your chair. Try not to have the weight of your back on the backrest of your chair. Do it one more time. And our last exercise is you're going to march and bring your opposite elbow to your opposite knee. So again, if this exercise is too easy for you, you can always speed it up, go faster. If it's too hard, you can slow it down. Go at your own pace for another 5 seconds. Then we get to start over and go through them again. And one more. Good. All right, we're gonna go back to the beginning. Arms up overhead and squat. Arms up overhead, squat. Your feet should be a little bit apart. Sometimes with MS, one leg is weaker than the other. Try and keep your weight equal between your right and your left leg. If one leg is favoring or weaker, try and shift your weight over the other leg. We have 5 more seconds and then we're done with this exercise. We're gonna go to the weight shifts and butt kicks. And let's switch. So now we're gonna do the squat and butt kick, squat and butt kick. Or you can do Nicole's exercise. She's picking up the pace over there. If you feel like you're at that 5 to 6 range, try and keep yourself there. If you feel like you're a little below that, try and increase the speed or the exertion, the range of motion you're going through to increase your heart rate. And we have one more exercise. Now you're gonna do the opposite elbow to opposite knee. Marching in place. This is a coordination exercise too, which we know sometimes with MS, if you have a cerebellar component to your disease, this can be more difficult. So if you need to hold on to something for support or go slower to coordinate the movements, that's okay too. Do 5 more seconds. And stop. Good job. All right, guys, we're into the next section for our video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a boxing rotation. The first minute, we're gonna box low to high for a whole minute. You can do it in sitting or in standing, or if you get fatigued between, you can switch between the two. So let's go 10 reps down, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're gonna punch high. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna try this for a whole minute. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and high. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're about halfway. Keep going. If you can't do the squat, that's okay. You can just do it in standing. Try and get more trunk rotation to increase the difficulty of it. And high, 1, 2, 3.
So one of the primary symptoms of MS is fatigue. And one of the best ways to combat fatigue is by exercising, believe it or not. By exercising, you increase your body's activity tolerance.
And one more.
So by doing that on a regular basis, you're slowly going to be able to progress the amount of activity that you're able to do without becoming fatigued.
The second part of our boxing, you're gonna stagger your feet, whether you're in standing or sitting. You're gonna start with the arm that's with the leg in behind. What you're gonna do is you're gonna throw a jab across, and you're gonna do an uppercut, and then right. So we're gonna go left, right, uppercut, right. Left, right, uppercut, right. We're gonna try this for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna switch. If you mess up, that's okay. We might mess up too. Right, uppercut, right. Uppercut, right. It adds in that cognition component, sequencing, which we know can sometimes be difficult with MS patients. Right, uppercut, right. If you can add in your knee bend when you're doing the exercises, it's gonna make it even more difficult. Last time, and switch sides. So now your left foot's gonna be in front. You're gonna start with your right punch. So you're gonna punch across, across, uppercut, across. Right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. If you get really good, you can add some weights while you're punching. Oops, see, I even messed up. Right, left, uppercut, left. Right, left, uppercut, left. Let's do one more, and you can go at your own speed. You can punch as hard as you can. Take some of that anger out into your punches. And stop. All right, guys, we're getting through it. You're doing well. Now we're gonna do a coordination component. We're gonna do 2 exercises, each for 30 seconds, and we're gonna go through them twice. So it's gonna be 2 minutes total. The first exercise, you're gonna reach and try and hit your heel on the ground. You're gonna do this in sitting or in standing. We're gonna try for 30 seconds.
As you're doing these exercises, we're addressing physical fatigue, but cognitive fatigue is also a component of MS. In addition, dual tasking can become difficult with MS. So one of the other things you can do in order to increase the difficulty or challenge yourself during this exercise routine is incorporate different cognitive activities.
Let's switch exercises. We're gonna go out to the side and arms up. Out to the side and arms up. We're gonna do this for 30 seconds.
Some different types of cognitive activities that you might consider incorporating include different things, like thinking of your grandchildren's names and listing those as you're performing the exercise. Other things you can do is challenge yourself to think about 10 different appliances that you might find in the kitchen.
You could do this with a partner and switch back and forth of who says the item, so you're both engaging in it. We're gonna go back to the first one for another 30 seconds. This is our second round through. We have this and then the other one more time. You guys are doing great. Again, if you need a sitting break, if you feel like you're getting warm, you can put that cooling vest on, you can take a seat, you can switch from my exercise to Nicole's exercise. You wanna push yourself, but if you need to take a break, don't worry, you can take a break. You'll build up tolerance over time. We have 5 more seconds. And then we're gonna switch back to those modified jumping jacks. Last 30 seconds. You can do it. You should feel your arms and your heart rate get up. You wanna shoot to aim for that 5 to 6 of your Rpe scale out of 10. If you're too high, you can drop down, go slower. If you feel like you can do more, you could try full jumping jacks or faster movements to increase your heart rate. We have 5 more seconds. And stop. Very good. All right, guys, we're in our last section before the cool down. We're gonna try some modified jumps today. So you're just gonna bend your knees and try and come off the ground. You don't have to go high. We're gonna try this for a whole minute. You can see Nicole is trying to lift her bottom up with some power. If you feel like you need to put a chair in front of you, you can do that, coming up off the chair for support. If you wanna hold on to something with one hand or 2 hands for support, you can do that to help your jumps. The goal is to try. If you only get just your toes off, that's okay too. Remember, with all of these exercises, it may be hard the first time, but don't give up on it. Even if you only make it through half of the exercises the first time through, then try it again 2 days later. You'll slowly build up tolerance. Try not to completely abandon it if it's too hard. You can take rest breaks, you can do every other section. The more you do it, the easier it'll become. Again, if you need to hold on to one hand, if you need something in front of you, or if you just go up onto your toes and don't even get off the ground, try to do a little bit of that jumping. And that was a minute. Good job. All right, guys, we made it to the cool down. You made it through all those exercises. We're gonna do the same stretches we did to warm up. So cross your arm over your chest and rotate. Now, a good rule of thumb is you could either feel a burst of energy after you do this, or you might be a little bit more fatigued. If your fatigue lasts more than 2 hours, we might need to slowly pace yourself into these exercises. We don't wanna overdo it too early on. So we wanna use the Rpe scale to try and monitor your exercise while you're doing it, but also see how you feel after. Some of the patients in our office will say when they do just our walking test, that getting up and moving around, their fatigue actually decreases. But if you're noticing you have worsening fatigue or it won't go away in 2 hours after the exercise, we might need to scale it back a little. Let's do one more stretch down and then up, and make sure you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth as you're stretching. Again, if you're a patient who has increased spasticity or stiffness, you might have to do these cool down exercises twice too, but it'll give you ideas of what you can do at home. All right, guys, that completes our cardio aerobic exercise component of our video. It was about 10 minutes, and we know the goal with MS is to do 30 minutes twice a week at minimum. So you can do this rotation again. You can do it 2 or 3 times if you want, or you could substitute and go for a walk for 20 minutes to get your heart rate up, or ride a stationary bike for 20 minutes. Just try and shoot for that 30 minutes, whatever small increments you have to get there. We hope you liked the exercises, and we hope you enjoyed doing some of them and you'll try them a couple times. Thanks for watching.